Today, I want to talk to you about the effect of Jesus' message, reading to you from Matthew chapter 7, verses 28 and 29, where we read this. And so it was, when Jesus had ended these sayings, that the people were astonished at his teaching. For he taught them as one having authority, and not as the scribes. Through the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus dealt with many themes. He spoke with astonishing authority about the character of the citizens of his kingdom and their responsibility to live as lights to the world. He spoke about the way the citizens of his kingdom should understand the law of God. Jesus, in the Sermon on the Mount, spoke of the manner and the heart in which the citizens of his kingdom should do spiritual works and how they should regard money and material things. Jesus spoke about the way that the citizens of his kingdom should treat one another, and he spoke about the way that the citizens of his kingdom should pray and trust God. You see, in all this, Jesus gave all of his listeners a better understanding of who he was and what kind of kingdom he brought to this earth. Many people in those days were confused by wrong expectations about the kingdom. And one purpose of the Sermon on the Mount was to correct those misunderstandings and for Jesus to instruct us, I come to you as a king, and this is what my kingdom is like. This is how it is experienced in the life of the citizens of this kingdom. Now, in the last few verses of Matthew chapter 7, we learn what the reaction of the people was to this sermon of Jesus. The people, as our text tells us, were astonished at his teaching. They were amazed, and they felt that they heard from Jesus was something not like anything else they had ever heard before. Now, the next line tells us what they thought was different about the teaching of Jesus. It tells us, for he taught them as one having authority and not as the scribes. The audience of Jesus could not but notice that Jesus taught with authority that was lacking in the other teachers in his day. You know, in that day, it was common for a teacher to quote other rabbis when they discussed the scriptures. They would say, Rabbi so-and-so says this, scribe this and that says something else. Jesus was different. He spoke with authority all his own and the authority of God's revealed word. But that was not the only thing that impressed the people who heard Jesus. It also says the people were astonished at his teachings. They were mostly surprised by the way that Jesus taught as one having authority, but they were also astonished at the content. What Jesus taught them about the kingdom of the Messiah was radically different than what they had previously thought. Jesus corrected their wrong ideas. When we understand Jesus in this Sermon on the Mount, we should also be astonished. And if we're not, then we probably have not understood what Jesus said. Until we are corrected, his kingdom is different than what we think. So let Jesus tell you what he is like and what his kingdom is like. Let Jesus astonish you today.